The stars twinkled peacefully in the night sky over Cape Canaveral as Dr. Samantha Chen peered through her telescope. As lead astronomer at the Kennedy Space Center, she had spent countless nights searching the cosmos, but tonight felt different. A faint anomaly caught her eye, a pinprick of light moving in an unusual pattern. "Hey, Mike, come take a look at this," Samantha called to her colleague. Dr. Michael Okonkwo, a seasoned astrophysicist, ambled over. "What have you got, Sam?" "I'm not sure, but it's not behaving like any satellite or space debris I've ever seen." As Mike took his turn at the telescope, his brow furrowed. "You're right. The trajectory is all wrong. It's decelerating." Samantha's heart raced. Should we alert command? Before Mike could respond, every monitor in the control room lit up with urgent notifications. The anomaly had suddenly appeared on all their tracking systems, growing larger by the second. "It's entering Earth's atmosphere," someone shouted. Samantha grabbed the secure line to NASA headquarters. "This is Dr. Chen at Kennedy. We have an unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere. I repeat, unidentified object entering atmosphere." The next few hours were a blur of activity. Military jets scrambled, world leaders were awakened, and every telescope on the planet trained its gaze on the approaching object. As dawn broke over Florida, the truth became undeniable. Humanity was about to experience first contact. The alien vessel, a sleek, silvery craft about the size of a cruise ship, touched down gently in a clearing just outside the Space Center. A tense silence fell over the assembled crowd of scientists, military personnel, and hastily assembled diplomats. With a soft hiss, a door materialized in the smooth hull of the ship. A tall, willowy figure emerged, its skin a pale lavender, with large, almond-shaped eyes that seemed to shimmer with an inner light. The alien raised a four-fingered hand in what appeared to be a gesture of peace. "Greetings, people of Earth," it said, its voice resonating in perfect English. "I am Zar-El, lead researcher of the Galactic Confederation. We come in peace and in the spirit of scientific inquiry." A collective gasp went up from the crowd. Samantha, who had been ushered to the front due to her initial discovery, found herself face to face with the alien. "Welcome to Earth," she managed to say, her voice surprisingly steady. "I'm Dr. Samantha Chen. We're honored by your visit." Zar-El's large eyes blinked slowly. "The honor is ours, Dr. Chen. Your world has long been a subject of fascination for us. We've observed your rapid technological advancement with great interest." As the initial shock wore off, more aliens emerged from the ship, each carrying what appeared to be scientific equipment. They moved with a fluid grace that seemed almost otherworldly. General Laura Harrison, the highest-ranking military official present, stepped forward. "What exactly are your intentions here on Earth?" she asked, her tone a mix of curiosity and caution. Zar-El turned to her, a slight shimmer passing over its skin, perhaps their version of a smile. "We seek to learn, General Harrison. Our Confederation values knowledge above all else. We've come to study your unique biosphere, your diverse cultures, and perhaps most intriguingly, your species' remarkable adaptability." As the aliens set up their equipment, Samantha couldn't help but notice how advanced it seemed. Holographic displays sprang to life, showing complex data streams that she could barely comprehend. One of the other aliens, introduced as Lerna, the team's xenobiologist, approached Samantha. "Dr. Chen, we're particularly interested in human physiology. Your species' ability to thrive in such a wide range of environments is quite remarkable." Samantha nodded, her scientific curiosity overriding her initial trepidation. "We've certainly had to adapt to many challenges throughout our history. I'd be fascinated to learn how we compare to other species you've encountered." As the day progressed, a tentative rapport began to develop between the humans and their alien visitors. The Galactic Confederation, it turned out, was a loose alliance of spacefaring races dedicated to scientific advancement and peaceful coexistence. "We've been observing Earth for several of your centuries," Zar-El explained to an enraptured group of scientists and officials. Your world is unique in many ways. The sheer diversity of life forms, the complex interplay of your ecosystems, it's all quite fascinating. But why reveal yourselves now? Mike asked, voicing the question on everyone's mind. Zar-El's skin shimmered again. Definitely their version of a smile, Samantha decided. Your species has reached a crucial juncture. You stand on the brink of becoming a true spacefaring civilization. We believed it was time to make contact, to welcome you to the broader galactic community. As night fell, temporary structures had been erected around the alien ship, filled with humans and aliens engaged in excited discussion. The initial fear and suspicion had given way to an atmosphere of mutual curiosity and budding friendship. Samantha found herself in deep conversation with Lerne about the intricacies of human biology. Your reproductive process is particularly interesting, the alien xenobiologist said. The way your species combines genetic material to produce offspring, it's so beautifully complex. Samantha chuckled. I suppose it is, though we tend to take it for granted. How does it compare to reproduction in your species? Lerne launched into an explanation that left Samantha's head spinning. The aliens, it seemed, reproduced through a process that was part cloning, part energy transfer, and entirely mind-boggling to human understanding. As the first day of his historic encounter drew to a close, Samantha gazed up at the star-filled sky, now seeing it with new eyes. Humanity had taken its first step into a larger universe, and she knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Zar-El approached her, its large eyes reflecting the starlight. Your people have shown remarkable composure and openness, Dr. Chen. I believe our peoples have much to learn from each other. Samantha nodded, a sense of wonder and hope filling her. I couldn't agree more, Zar-El. This is just the beginning of a beautiful friendship. As she watched the alien return to its ship for the night, Samantha couldn't help but feel that humanity's greatest adventure was only just beginning. As weeks passed, the initial shock of first contact gave way to a flurry of diplomatic and scientific activity. A temporary settlement sprouted around the alien ship, dubbed Harmony Base by an optimistic press officer. Here, humans and aliens worked side by side, each species fascinated by the other's ways. Dr. Samantha Chen found herself at the heart of this interspecies collaboration. Today, she was giving Lerne a tour of a typical Earth city. They strolled down a busy street, the alien's presence drawing curious, but mostly friendly glances from passers-by. Your species seems to have an endless variety of food, Lerne observed, its large eyes taking in the colorful displays of a farmer's market. How do you choose what to consume? Samantha laughed. Mostly based on personal taste and nutritional needs. Here, try this. She handed Lerne a ripe strawberry. The alien examined the fruit curiously before popping it into its mouth. Its eyes widened in surprise. The flavor, it's so intense, and the texture, remarkable. As they continued their walk, Lerne's questions came in rapid succession. Why did humans wear such varied clothing? What purpose did the small furry creatures on leashes serve? Why did some humans join their mouths together in public? Samantha did her best to explain the concepts of fashion, pets, and kissing, realizing how strange these everyday things must seem to an outsider. Meanwhile, back at Harmony Base, Zar-El was engaged in a lively discussion with General Laura Harrison about human military strategy. Your species' history is filled with conflict, Zar-El noted, its tone neutral. Yet from these struggles, you've developed remarkable problem-solving skills and resilience. Laura nodded, her expression thoughtful. War has been a terrible teacher, but an effective one. We've learned to adapt, to think creatively in the face of challenges, but we're trying to move beyond that now, to apply those skills to peaceful endeavors. Zar-El's skin shimmered in what Laura now recognized as approval. A commendable goal. Perhaps your experience can help the Confederation deal with some of its own diplomatic challenges. As the cultural exchange deepened, misunderstandings were inevitable. Dr. Michael Okonkwo found himself in an awkward situation when he attempted to shake hands with Kex T, the alien team's technology expert. "My apologies, Dr. Okonkwo," Kex T said, quickly withdrawing its hand. "In our culture, touching another's appendages is considered an intimate act reserved for close family units." Mike's face flushed with embarrassment. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend." Kex T's skin rippled in what Mike had learned was amusement. "No offense taken. These cultural differences are why we're here after all. Shall we continue our discussion on quantum computing?" Not all interactions were so easily smoothed over. A minor diplomatic incident erupted when an overzealous human tourist attempted to take a selfie with one of the aliens, unaware that the flash from their camera caused physical pain to the alien's sensitive eyes. Yet for every misunderstanding, there were countless moments of connection and mutual appreciation. Humans were in awe of the aliens' advanced technology and deep scientific knowledge. The aliens, in turn, were impressed by humanity's adaptability, creativity, and the richness of Earth's cultures. One evening, as the sun set over Harmony Base, Samantha found Zahel staring at the sky with an unreadable expression. "Is everything all right?" she asked, concerned. Zahel turned to her, its eyes reflecting the golden light. "Dr. Chen, in all our travels, we've never encountered a species quite like yours. You are capable of such violence, yet also of profound kindness. You create breathtaking art and music, yet also weapons of mass destruction. You're divided by borders and ideologies, yet you've welcomed us with open arms. You are puzzling." Samantha smiled. "We're still figuring ourselves out, to be honest. But I like to think that's what makes us human, our capacity to grow, to change, to strive for better." As night fell, a group of local musicians who had been invited to the base began to play. The haunting notes of a violin filled the air, soon joined by the rhythmic beat of drums and the melodic strains of a guitar. The aliens were transfixed. "This music," Lerner whispered, its body swaying slightly to the rhythm. "It's like nothing we've ever experienced. I can feel it in my very cellular structure." Inspired by the moment, Mike grabbed Samantha's hand. "Come on, let's show them how humans dance." As the human couple began to move to the music, the aliens watched in fascination. Soon, other humans joined in, and before long, even some of the more adventurous aliens were attempting to mimic the movements, resulting in a scene of joyous, if somewhat awkward, interspecies dancing. Zahel observed the scene with what could only be described as wonder. "Perhaps this is the true power of your species," it mused. "Your ability to find common ground, to create moments of joy and connection, even with beings from across the galaxy." As the impromptu celebration continued into the night, humans and aliens alike felt a growing sense of kinship. Despite their many differences, they were beginning to see that the things that united them, curiosity, the desire for knowledge, the capacity for joy, was stronger than anything that set them apart. Little did they know that this newfound bond would soon be tested in ways none of them could have imagined. The mood at Harmony Base was jubilant. After 2 months of successful cultural and scientific exchange, both humans and aliens felt they were on the cusp of a new era of interstellar cooperation. However, their newfound harmony was about to face its first real test. It began with an urgent message from the Galactic Confederation. Zahel's normally composed features were tense as it called for an emergency meeting with Earth's leaders. In a secure conference room, Zahel addressed a group that included Dr. Samantha Chen, General Laura Harrison, and several high-ranking government officials. "We've received disturbing news," Zahel began, its voice grave. "Our long-range sensors have detected a fleet of ships entering this solar system. They belong to a species known as the Vorkath." A holographic display flickered to life, showing a swarm of ominous, insectoid vessels. "Who are the Vorkath?" General Harrison asked, her eyes narrowing as she studied the image. Lerner stepped forward. "The Vorkath are a hostile, expansionist species. They consume resources at an alarming rate, leaving devastated worlds in their wake. We've had conflicts with them before. A chill ran through the room as the implications sank in. Are they coming here? To Earth? Samantha's voice was barely above a whisper. Zar-El nodded solemnly. We believe so. The Vorkaths seem to have detected our presence here and have altered their course. They likely see Earth as a new conquest. General Harrison's jaw clenched. How long do we have? At their current speed, they will reach Earth in approximately 3 of your months, Kexti replied, manipulating the holographic display to show the Vorkath fleet's trajectory. The room erupted into a flurry of questions and exclamations. How could they prepare? What were Earth's chances? Did the Confederation have weapons they could use? Zar-El raised a hand, calling for silence. We understand this news is shocking. The Confederation is prepared to offer assistance, but we must be clear. Our technology, while advanced, is primarily defensive. We are researchers, not warriors. General Harrison stood, her voice firm. Then we'll have to be the warriors. Humanity has faced extinction-level threats before, and we've always found a way to survive. We'll do it again. As the meeting adjourned, teams were quickly assembled to begin preparations. The news of the impending invasion was carefully released to the public, causing a mix of panic and determination across the globe. Samantha found herself working around the clock with a joint human-alien team, analyzing Vorkath technology and searching for potential weaknesses. The stress was palpable, but so was the sense of shared purpose. One evening, as she pored over data streams, Mike approached her with a cup of coffee. You need to rest, Sam, he said gently. You can't save the world if you're running on fumes. Samantha sighed, rubbing her tired eyes. How can I rest when there's so much at stake? The Vorkath, they're like nothing we've ever faced. We're talking about a species that can travel between stars, Mike. How can we possibly stand against that? Mike placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. The same way humanity has always faced impossible odds, with ingenuity, determination, and a hell of a lot of courage. Plus, we're not alone this time. We've got friends from across the galaxy on our side. As if on cue, Lerne entered the lab, its large eyes blinking rapidly, a sign of excitement, Samantha had learned. Dr. Chen, Dr. Okonkwo, I believe we've made a breakthrough in understanding Vorkath biology. Their cellular structure is remarkably sensitive to certain electromagnetic frequencies. The implications of this discovery sparked a flurry of activity. If they could develop weapons that exploited this weakness, they might stand a chance against the technologically superior invaders. Meanwhile, governments around the world mobilized for war. Old rivalries were set aside as nations pooled their resources and knowledge. The United Nations, once often gridlocked by political disagreements, now moved with unprecedented unity and purpose. As Earth braced for the impending Vorkath invasion, Harmony Base had transformed from a center of cultural exchange into a hub of frantic activity. The once peaceful research facility now buzzed with the energy of a war room, its occupants working tirelessly to prepare for humanity's greatest challenge. Dr. Samantha Chen wiped sweat from her brow as she emerged from the newly constructed underground laboratory. The past weeks had been a blur of breakthroughs and setbacks as human and alien scientists raced against time. Sam, Mike's voice called out. He jogged up to her, excitement evident in his eyes. You need to see this. The guys over in engineering have come up with something incredible. Intrigued, Samantha followed him to a large hangar. Inside, a massive device dominated the space, its sleek design a clear fusion of human and alien technology. Is that? Samantha's voice trailed off in awe. The EM pulse cannon, Mike confirmed with a grin. Based on Lerner's discovery about Vorkath's cellular sensitivity, it's designed to emit a targeted electromagnetic pulse that should disrupt their ship systems and potentially incapacitate the Vorkath themselves. Kexti approached, its skin shimmering with what Samantha now recognized as pride. Your engineering teams are remarkably adaptable, Dr. Chen. They integrated our quantum field technology with your own electromagnetic weapon systems in ways we hadn't even considered. As they discussed the new weapons capabilities, General Harrison entered the hangar, accompanied by an unexpected guest, a towering reptilian figure that made even the alien researchers look human by comparison. Dr. Chen, Dr. Okonkwo, Laura called out, "I'd like you to meet Ambassador Cathar of the Draconid Imperium." The reptilian being inclined its head, yellow eyes blinking slowly. "Greetings, Earth scientists," it hissed. "We have come to offer our assistance in your fight against the Vorkath." Samantha and Mike exchanged surprised glances. The Draconid Imperium was a powerful and notoriously isolationist civilization that the Galactic Confederation had mentioned, but never fully elaborated on. "Ambassador," Samantha said, recovering quickly, "we're honored by your offer, but I must ask, why help us?" Scathar's scaled lips pulled back in what might have been a smile. "The Vorkath are a plague upon this galaxy. We have fought them before and know their strength. But we also recognize the potential in your species. Your adaptability, your tenacity, they intrigue us." As the day progressed, more unexpected allies arrived. Representatives from civilizations across the galaxy, drawn by the Confederation's call and humanity's reputation, came to offer aid. Each brought unique technologies, strategies, and resources to the table. In a vast conference room, holographic displays showed alien fleets converging on the solar system. Earth's leaders, along with their new alien allies, debated strategies and formed battle plans. "The key," General Harrison explained, pointing to a 3D map of Earth's orbit, "is to engage the Vorkath before they can establish a foothold. We'll use the EM pulse cannons to disrupt their ships, then our combined fleets can pick them off." Zar-El, who had been quiet for much of the meeting, spoke up. "There's something else you should know. The Vorkath, they're not just conquerors. They're harvesters. They don't just take resources, they absorb the very essence of the civilizations they encounter. Your cultures, your art, your history, all of it is at risk." A somber silence fell over the room as the full weight of what they were fighting for sank in. Samantha felt a surge of determination. "Then we'll give them a history lesson they'll never forget," she said, her voice steady. "We'll show them that Earth doesn't go down without a fight." As the meeting adjourned, the various species broke into smaller groups, each focusing on different aspects of the defense plan. Samantha found herself working with a team of Draconid engineers, their initial awkwardness giving way to mutual respect as they combined their knowledge to enhance Earth's planetary shields. Meanwhile, Mike collaborated with a group of ethereal beings called the Kulari, whose mastery of quantum entanglement promised to revolutionize Earth's communication systems, allowing for instantaneous coordination across vast distances. Even as they worked, more ships arrived in Earth's orbit, a motley armada of vessels from across the galaxy, all united in the cause of defending Earth and stopping the Vorkath threat. One evening, as the sun set over Harmony Base, Samantha stood with Zar-El, watching shuttles ferry supplies and personnel to the orbiting fleet. "I never imagined anything like this," Samantha admitted. "A few months ago, we thought we were alone in the universe. Now we're at the center of a galactic alliance." Zar-El's skin shimmered with a complex mix of emotions. "You've accomplished in weeks what many civilizations take centuries to achieve. You've united not just your own world, but species from across the stars. It's unprecedented." As night fell, the stars above were obscured by the lights of the massive fleet assembling in Earth's orbit. Each pinprick of light represented a ship, a crew, beings from across the galaxy who had chosen to stand with humanity in its darkest hour. Samantha felt a mix of fear and hope as she gazed upward. The coming battle would determine not just the fate of Earth, but perhaps the future of the galaxy itself. As she headed back to her lab, ready for another long night of work, she carried with her the weight of billions of lives, human and alien alike, all depending on their success. The stage was set. The unlikely alliance was in place. Now, all that remained was to face the oncoming storm and prove that humanity, together with its new allies, could stand against the greatest threat the galaxy had ever known. The tension in Earth's orbit was palpable as the combined fleet of Earth and its alien allies waited in formation. Sleek Confederation science vessels floated alongside bulky human warships and the organic-looking craft of the Quillari. At the heart of the formation, the massive draconid dreadnoughts loomed like celestial predators. On the bridge of the USS Defiant, Earth's newest and most advanced warship, Dr. Samantha Chen stood beside General Laura Harrison, both women's eyes fixed on the holographic display showing the approaching Volcath fleet. "They'll be within range in 10 minutes, Laura said, her voice taut with anticipation. Samantha nodded, her mind racing through last-minute calculations. "The EM pulse cannons are charged and ready. Let's hope they work as well in practice as they did in simulations." A communication channel crackled to life, and Zar-El's face appeared on a nearby screen. "All Confederation ships are in position, General. We're prepared to provide support as discussed." Laura acknowledged with a nod. "Thank you, Zar-El. Let's show these Volcath what happens when they mess with Earth." As the minutes ticked by, Samantha couldn't help but marvel at the sight before her. Humans working alongside beings from across the galaxy, all united in a common cause. It was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Suddenly, alarms blared across the fleet. Volcath ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. A sensor officer shouted. The space ahead of them seemed to ripple and tear as hundreds of insectoid ships burst into normal space. Their biomechanical designs were even more nightmarish in person than in the holographic projections. "All ships, hold position," Laura commanded, her voice steady despite the tension. "Wait for them to enter optimal range for the EM pulse cannons." The Volcath fleet advanced, seemingly unconcerned by the defensive formation before them. As they drew closer, Samantha could make out more details of their ships, the chitinous armor, the pulsing organic components, the weapon ports that looked disturbingly like maws, ready to devour everything in their path. "They're entering optimal range," Samantha reported, her eyes flicking between multiple displays. Laura took a deep breath. "All Earth ships, fire EM pulse cannons. Allied ships, stand by to engage on my mark." Brilliant beams of electromagnetic energy lanced out from the human ships, enveloping the front lines of the Volcath fleet. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then chaos erupted. Volcath ships began to twitch and spasm, their biomechanical systems disrupted by the targeted EM pulses. Some ships collided with each other, while others drifted aimlessly, their propulsion systems offline. "It's working," Samantha exclaimed, unable to contain her excitement. Laura allowed herself a small smile before barking out her next order. "All ships engage. Take out those disabled vessels before they can recover." The space around Earth erupted into a dazzling and terrifying light show as energy weapons, missiles, and exotic alien armaments tore into the disoriented Volcath fleet. But the invaders were far from defeated. The ships at the rear of their formation, beyond the range of the initial EM pulse, surged forward. They fired strange, organic-looking projectiles that burst against Allied shields, releasing corrosive substances that ate through metal and energy barriers alike. Draconid ships moved to intercept, Laura commanded. "Quillari vessels, use your facing technology to flank their rear guard." The battle raged on, a three-dimensional chess game played out on a cosmic scale. Human ingenuity and determination combined with alien technologies in ways never before seen in the galaxy. Samantha found herself running from station to station on the bridge, analyzing data, suggesting tactical adjustments, and coordinating with the science teams on other ships. The EM pulse cannons were effective, but the Volcath were adapting, developing countermeasures with frightening speed. Hours into the battle, the tide began to turn. Despite heavy losses, the Volcath's superior numbers were starting to tell. Allied ships, their shields depleted, fell to the relentless assault. We need to take out their command ship, Laura growled, pointing to a massive vessel at the heart of the Vorkav formation. If we can disrupt their coordination, we might have a chance. Zael's voice came through the comm system. General, we've detected a weakness in their command ship's defenses, but to exploit it, we'd need to get much closer than our ships can manage. A crazy idea formed in Samantha's mind. What if we gave them a Trojan horse, she suggested. The Vorkav are harvesters, right? They absorb technology. What if we let them take one of our ships? Laura's eyes widened as she grasped Samantha's plan. A suicide mission to deliver an EM pulse from inside their defenses. I'll go, Samantha said, her voice firm. I know the EM technology better than anyone. I can make sure it detonates at exactly the right moment. Laura shook her head. Absolutely not. I can't ask a civilian to. You're not asking, Samantha interrupted. I'm volunteering. This is our home, our future. Let me do this. After a moment of tense silence, Laura nodded grimly. All right, but you're not going alone. I'm coming with you. As they rushed to prepare for their desperate mission, Samantha caught a glimpse of Earth through a viewport, a beautiful blue marble, seemingly peaceful despite the battle raging around it. In that moment, she knew with absolute certainty that no sacrifice was too great to protect it. The fate of Earth, and perhaps the galaxy, now rested on the success of their daring gambit. As Samantha and Laura boarded a small, specially prepared ship, they carried with them the hopes and fears of billions. The most crucial phase of the battle was about to begin. The small ship carrying Dr. Samantha Chen and General Laura Harrison detached from the USS Defiant, its systems deliberately weakened to appear damaged. As they maneuvered towards the Vorkav lines, Samantha's heart raced. The plan was audacious, perhaps even foolhardy, but it was their best hope. Vorkav vessels approaching, Laura reported, her hands steady on the controls. They're taking the bait. A massive Vorkav ship loomed before them, its biomechanical maw opening to engulf their craft. Samantha suppressed a shudder as they were swallowed by the alien vessel, surrounded by pulsing organic matter interwoven with advanced technology. Incredible, Samantha whispered, her scientific curiosity momentarily overriding her fear. Their entire ship is like a living organism. Laura nodded grimly. Let's hope it's as vulnerable to our EM pulse as we think. Start the countdown. As Samantha worked to activate the EM device, they felt the ship shudder. Through the viewport, they could see other captured vessels being broken down, their components assimilated into the Vorkav ship. We don't have much time, Laura warned. Suddenly, a piercing screech filled the air. Vorkav drones, insectoid creatures melded with cybernetic implants, began to swarm towards their ship. They've realized we're not what we seem, Samantha said, her fingers flying over the controls. The EM device is armed, but I need more time to calibrate it for maximum effect. Laura unholstered her weapon. I'll buy you that time. Just get it done. As Laura held off the Vorkav drones with precise shots, Samantha worked feverishly. The ship rocked with explosions as the battle outside intensified. Sam, how much longer? Laura called out, her voice strained. Almost there, Samantha replied, sweat beading on her forehead. We need to get this to the ship's central nervous system for maximum impact. With a final burst of gunfire, Laura cleared a path. Then let's move. They fought their way through pulsing corridors, the ship's very walls seeming to resist their progress. Finally, they reached a vast chamber filled with swirling energy, the heart of the Vorkav command ship. This is it, Samantha said, placing the EM device. Once I activate this, we'll have seconds to get out before it detonates. Laura nodded, her eyes scanning for escape routes. Do it. Samantha took a deep breath and pressed the activation sequence. Alarms immediately blared throughout the ship. Run, Laura shouted, grabbing Samantha's arm. They sprinted back towards their ship, Vorkav drones in hot pursuit. Just as they reached their craft, a massive tremor shook the entire vessel. "We're out of time," Samantha yelled. "We need to go now." Laura gunned the engines, blasting their way out of the disintegrating Vorkath ship. Behind them, the massive vessel convulsed as the EM pulse tore through its systems. As they emerged into open space, they were met with a sight that took their breath away. The Vorkath fleet was in disarray, their ships drifting aimlessly or turning on each other as the command ship's destruction severed their hive mind link. "All ships, this is General Harrison," Laura broadcast. "The Vorkath command is down. Press the attack." The Allied fleet surged forward, their coordinated assault tearing through the now disorganized Vorkath forces. Human ingenuity, Confederation technology, Draconid firepower, and Kulari tactical brilliance combined in a symphony of destruction against the invaders. Hours later, as the last Vorkath ship fell silent, a cheer went up across the Allied fleet. Earth had been saved. In the aftermath, as the adrenaline wore off, the true scale of what they had accomplished began to sink in. Humanity had not only survived its first interstellar war, but had played a crucial role in uniting the galaxy against a common threat. On the bridge of the UNS Defiant, Samantha stood with Laura, Zar-El, and representatives from their alien allies. Earth glowed blue and beautiful on the viewscreen before them. "We did it," Samantha said, her voice filled with wonder. "We actually did it." Zar-El's skin shimmered with what Samantha now recognized as deep emotion. "You humans continue to amaze us. Your courage, your adaptability, your willingness to sacrifice for others. These are rare qualities in the galaxy." The Draconid ambassador, Scafar, inclined its head. "The Imperium recognizes the strength of Earth. You have earned your place among the stars." Laura smiled, looking out at the assembled fleet. "We couldn't have done it alone. This victory belongs to all of us." As the group discussed the future, cleanup operations, rebuilding efforts, and Earth's new role in galactic affairs, Samantha found her gaze drawn back to her home planet. In just a few months, humanity had gone from believing they were alone in the universe to becoming a key player in a galactic alliance. The challenges ahead were immense, but so were the opportunities. New frontiers of science and exploration beckoned. The fusion of human and alien technologies promised to solve problems that had plagued Earth for centuries. As the first rays of sunlight peeped around Earth's curve, Samantha felt a profound sense of hope. They had faced the ultimate test and emerged stronger, not just as a species, but as part of a greater galactic community. The dawn of a new era was breaking, not just for Earth, but for the entire galaxy. And humanity, with its unique blend of determination, adaptability, and spirit, was ready to meet it head-on. As the Allied ships began their victory formation around Earth, Samantha knew that this was just the beginning. The greatest adventure in human history was about to unfold, and she couldn't wait to see what the future held.